Hey, welcome to Inspire. I am so grateful to be back here in the house today. In our platform, we have Ernie and Denise Pack. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for being here.
Hello.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I'm really excited to take this dive into your property where we're going to explore the energies of the land and Bigfoot and ETs and fairies. And oh my God,
We got it all.
I know. I'm really, really looking forward to today's conversation. So when we step in this energies together, first and foremost, Denise, we'll go to you first. If you could introduce yourself and let everyone know who you are and what you do for the community.
Well, Denise Pack, I'm the better part of Packman Paranormal. I am. I'm the CEO, the CFO, the party planner, the
Party pooper.
We own and operate the Ditto House Inn in West Point, Kentucky, which is what we're sitting in right now. This is the murder room.
Wow.
We run the paranormal investigations out of Fort Duffield here in West Point, Kentucky. And yeah, we're Packman Paranormal. I mean, there's Mark Brown already.
Hello, Mark.
Yeah, we got Mark Brown here. We got Jesse, and I'm going to make sure that we're also streaming it on Facebook. For those that are following on Facebook, it doesn't show, so you're more than welcome to join us on YouTube for those that are following on Facebook. Now, Ernie,
Yes.
Gray gave you a beautiful introduction this whole week. Would you mind introducing yourself and what you do?
All right. My name is Ernie Pack. I am Packman of Packman Paranormal.
There is no Pac-Man without the Pac woman.
All right. It's my time. It's my time. I have been involved with the paranormal for 30-ish years, something like that. Spent about 12 years as one of the overnight hosts at Waverly Hills Sanatorium. We formed Packman Paranormal in 2020 and have...
Surprisingly, not because of ghosts, but because of Bigfoot.
Yes, because of Bigfoot found us while we were ghost hunting, and we decided to become we had to become a paranormal team at that point.
Yeah.
So I know, Denise, you had history. You were raised in a family who did paranormal, that experienced paranormal.
Right.
And you said this incident had you become paranormal. So tell me, what did you experience that took you to that leap of faith to say, we got to investigate this?
Well, I had always been into I want to say, I guess, all things macabre. Like, I was the kid that my parents were, I wouldn't necessarily call them ghost hunters, because, back then there wasn't
urban legend seekers.
Yeah, urban legend seekers. Like, I grew up in Mothman country. So I came from a family of people, we lived in the wet hollers of West Virginia, talk of witches and, all the things that go bump in the night. So I had already been kind of investigating ghosts and had formed I didn't form. I became part of Gallatin Paranormal Research, and we had been going around to haunted locations and such. And in June of 2019, I went to Waverly Hills I had been going there annually since like 2009. So my 10th year going to Waverly Hills Sanatorium, this guy was my tour guide. And that's
nice.
And we started kind of doing some, and that's a whole other story. Room 502, there's a spirit that hooked us up. That's why we're married.
Nice.
But we were out looking for her grave. She had told us where her grave was, and we were out looking for that. And we were here in Kentucky. It was my birthday. I was from Hendersonville, Tennessee. I was driving up here and visiting him. We were just friends at the time. No romantic notions whatsoever. And we were up here looking for her grave on the top of a mountain. And we heard 3 tree knocks. And we weren't Bigfoot disbelievers, because we both grew up in houses where people kind of experienced all kinds of things, but it was not anything that I think either one of us had ever really thought about being,
actually encountered.
Yeah, because we never went out seeking it. We didn't know anything about it.
Right.
And I heard 3 knocks, which now I know tree knocks are something that they do, but I didn't even know then that that was a thing.
Yes. It's the physical manifestation, girl. You're in that ramping. So they're trying to communicate.
So we were running an EVP recorder, and you can actually hear the knocks on the computer, and you hear me on the recorder, and you actually hear me say, "I'm not about running into no Bigfoot tonight." And then we both giggle, and then we just go on about our business.
Yeah.
And then I told Ernie, I said, I have the feeling that someone, because I'm sensitive and have gifts and abilities, as does he. And I said, I'm feeling like someone's in the tree line pacing back and forth watching this. I said, I don't see them, but something's over there. And we walked the tree line and didn't see anything. And so there's Eric. Sorry, we're seeing our people pop up in here. So we finished up what we were doing, and Ernie said, well, let's head on back to, because we were staying in a hotel because I was coming up and getting a hotel, and he was going back to the hotel with me. He said, well, let's just go back to the hotel because it was cold. It was January the 6th, actually. It was very cold. It was like midnight at this time. And we're going back down. It was Mitchell Hill, actually.
Mitchell Hill Road.
And Ernie started telling me about, I'll let you pick it up here because you know the area more than me.
Well, there's an urban legend around here of which it's all over the country, the same basic legend. It's called Crybaby Holler. And the story goes that there was a family that had crashed and gone over the bluff there on this narrow, windy road way back in the day. I think it was the 40s or the 50s. And they had an infant in the car, and the infant was never found. The family was all killed, but they never found the infant. The legend is you go there at night and listen, and you can hear a baby crying down in the holler. So, she's from out of town, so I thought I'd show her that area.
We were already up there, so it was like, let's just stop here and see what we
on
hear.
That road, so we stopped there. It's a sharp curve, and there's a concrete wall that's about 5 feet tall right there in the curve to keep cars from going over the edge.
Like I could see, like right up to it, I could see like to the other hillside.
Yeah.
But it was like this tall or this wide. I couldn't like look over it to see down. I could just see straight across.
And so we stopped there and we're listening for the crybaby. And we start hearing footsteps on the hillside across from us.
And it was bipedal.
And yeah. And then we got to looking, and between the trees, we would see this dark figure on 2 legs going through the trees, and it'd go behind some and disappear.
Yeah, well, it might have been a full moon, or it was close to a full moon because it was bright, a lot of light.
And it was in January, so there were no leaves on the trees, so you could see a lot more. And so this thing goes around the hill, and it comes down below us where we can't see down to where it's at.
We could hear the crunching of the leaves, but we couldn't see it. And we knew it was really far down there, but we couldn't see it.
But it was like directly in front of us, right down in front of us. And it stopped right there in front of us. And it let out this long, deep,
guttural
vocalization that sounded like a belch or something.
It was like
it was so 40, deep and rattling, like it was like
it was like 30 or 40 seconds long without
it just
a breather
kept going, and we're sitting there looking at each other.
I was like I don't know an animal that has a lung span that large that can do that in one single
breath.
Wow.
So he looks at me and he says, well, you ready to go now? I said, yeah, let's go. So
because again, we knew nothing about Bigfoot.
I had no idea.
My thoughts at that time was, if Bigfoot does exist, he will rip me to shreds. He's this big ape thing in the woods that wants to rip me to pieces. That was what my thoughts were.
That's crazy.
So we got out of there.
So when we got back in the car, I said, do you think we did encounter Bigfoot? And he said, well, I don't know. I said, well, I'm going to Google this area and just see if there's been any sightings. And the first thing that popped up was they were going to have a Bigfoot expedition that weekend because of the increased sightings in the area. So we went back out the next day and found footprints.
Wow. Now, you're sitting there. Here you're looking for the crybaby. and instead of the crybaby, you see this Gray calls him a gentleman that becomes Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
As you're experiencing this, how did you process it emotionally? As days continued, did you go back out again and it happened again, or was that the first time and then it stopped at that location?
Well, it's like, I feel like once they allow you into their world,
Mm-hmm.
I think they have to build a trust with you to think that you're worthy to give you that gift.
Yeah.
And then you have a bond.
Right.
We were, like he said, we weren't sure what to expect because we did not know anything about Bigfoot. As far as we knew, he could rip us to shreds, but at the same time, we were intrigued.
Mm-hmm.
So when we went back out the next day, because Ernie had been working at Waverly Hills, he had some connections with some people that he did like Coast to Coast AM and such. He contacted them, and they wanted to do a podcast with us called Ghost Hunters Meet Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
So they were going to send some Bigfooters out with us and have us do the ghost hunting part. The Bigfooters do the Bigfoot part and see if it crossed.
I think that's beautiful.
So she told us, when she was getting us scheduled for this live podcast or this live stream, she said, "What's your paranormal team?" We were like, "We don't
Ernie and Denise
have a paranormal team. We're just Ernie and Denise."
I love
She's
it.
like, "You got to have a team name." So
Right.
I'm going to be advertising this. I'm selling, pay-per-view on this.
So we
Yeah.
sat there and thought about it for a few minutes, and his nickname growing up, because his last name's Pack, was always Packman. Packman chased ghosts, and he said Packman Paranormal. I said, "Okay, let's do it."
Yeah, I think it's a great name, by the way. I love Pac-Man. I was like the best at Pac-Man, and so
you were
it's like,
not.
I'm
the
gonna
best
say
Dixie.
I'm the girl that sat at the pizza place and knew how to get down in some Pac-Man. So I love the name, by the way, and the beauty of it is, and I agree with you, when you bring teams together in that way, there's the energy amplifies, and
Mhm.
so I was working on a project and one of the gentlemen was working and he was going to do his part, and Spirit's like, you got to stand by him to amplify the energy. So I was like, as they're filming in the production, I'm standing behind the door sending the power because we amplify the energy, and I'm trying to amplify the energy for them so he can get the message. So I love that you guys made that choice to do that, because Denise, you already said you're sensitive. You already come with that energy. And, it's interesting. A lot of different things that you're saying, synchronicities of your experience in life. I love, because I had those same similar experiences in my life where dating and meeting and traveling. And I think when I was here in my area, I'm looking just like you, Denise, over the little pole to kind of get, catch what we find. And so we're in the middle of the woods of nothing in the pitch dark night. That's the image I kind of get, and so I'm loving your story. And when I'll share more with you after, because there's so much that has linked in with what you guys are sharing, and it just has me in awe right now. Spirit is very intelligent.
You had asked if we continued to have encounters. Well, it was funny because we'd gone our whole lives with nothing, not even really giving it much thought. And then all of a sudden, bam, 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 bam. It's like part of the biggest
Like
part
once the door opened,
because
our eyes opened to it.
Yeah.
And there it was.
A week later is when she sent us out to do the Ghost Hunters Meet Bigfoot. Or
We didn't meet it.
She was meet him. She was like, it's not about 502 right now. It's about Bigfoot. She said, it's about Bigfoot right now. We got to find the man.
When we went out to do the live stream, she set us up for, they sent us, there was out this old logging road, which nobody travels anymore. You could still see the ruts, but it's just walkable now.
Mm-hmm.
There was a cemetery at the top. So the Bigfooters were going, Mark, words are hard for me. I live with Ernie. You know how this is. You've been around him enough. So,
you might want to block him, baby.
The Bigfooters stayed at the campsite. We weren't really camping, but we had a campfire and we were there most of the night. They stayed there and sent us up that logging road to the cemetery, and we had to walk. So, and one of them was our tech guy because we are not tech savvy at all. So he made sure all of our stuff, our cameras and everything was working. We start walking up the road and we get to a certain point and everything shuts off. So
Everything.
everything,
Everything.
phones and everything. So we walk back out to the end because we weren't very far up there, and we call him when we can get service again. So he runs back over and checks everything again, says it's fine, and it comes back on. So we start walking up again, same spot, everything shuts back off. And I said, well, we can't keep doing this, so let's just keep walking and maybe we'll get better reception at the top of the hill.
Okay.
So we get all the way to the top of the hill. It's what, maybe half a mile. It's not a long walk, maybe a mile.
Maybe a mile.
It's not a long walk. We get to the top and everything comes back on. And we do our little ghost hunting thing around the cemetery. Nothing too major happened. And we did have, reception. We were able to do some recordings
Did
and
the
stuff.
live stream.
We started back down the hill and everything shut off again. Same spot. And as we're walking, we get about halfway down and we start seeing like sliding footprints, like something was running and stopped and
slid in the road.
So Ernie's looking down at him, trying to figure out. He's like, I see toes, he's analyzing. And I get this feeling that something's behind us. And I turn around and behind us, gosh, how far would you
50
say?
yards.
50
maybe.
yards. I see something peek out and then go back. And I'm just sitting there looking at it like, what am I looking at? Because his back is still turned. And then it peeks out and then it comes out and steps and stands right in the middle of the road. And it's sitting there doing this and tilting its head and looking. And I'm going, trying to get him to turn
And
around.
I'm like, there's toes.
And I'm like, turn around.
Yeah.
And he turns around and he goes, and we're both just standing there. And we're just having like, we called it a face off, but we're just sitting there looking at each, and he's just like looking at us like he's, curious. And Ernie managed to get a phone call out. We couldn't get the live stream or anything, but he manages to get a phone call to the show host and says, we are having a standoff with a Bigfoot right now. And I hear her go, what?
Oh my God.
The cameras aren't working. Well, then, which, we now know about chatter and stuff. We didn't know anything about that then. We hear chatter off to its left side and then chatter behind us and then chatter. We're like in a triangle of chatter. And he looks over at the chatter, looks back at us, and then looks over and like 2 steps and he's gone back out into the woods. And then everything turned back on.
All the equipment came back on when he left.
Now, is this the same spot where you went to go look for the baby that was crying?
No,
It's
close to
it's
it.
probably 2 miles from there. It's in the same woods.
Same area. Now, how far is this location from the home that you live in?
It is, as the crow flies, it's probably 7 miles that way as the crow flies.
But we
So-
have since had
not very
encounters.
far.
We have since had encounters in West Virginia, Tennessee,
Indiana.
Indiana. They're
So
everywhere.
everywhere you go, you just attract all this paranormal energy. I love it.
Well,
But
we
it's-
go ahead.
Go ahead, Ernie.
We were later introduced to a man by the name of Greg Yost.
You need
They
to have
call
him. You
Squatch
need to
Man.
have him on your show, but you better plan an extended show that night because it's going to
He's
be
got
more
a
than
lot
an
to say.
hour.
Well, we can do part 1, part 2,
Yeah.
part 3, and we can do this again, y'all. We can do this again. So,
Well, anyway, we got introduced to Greg Yost. Like I say, they call him Squatch Man. And the first time we meet him, we're like, I don't know about this guy because he's a 6'5" guy. Looks like he just crawled out of the woods. He's
And
got a
when you're-
beard down to here.
And the things he's
long
saying
hair.
is just crazy, and you're
He's
just
just
like,
saying all this crazy stuff
we're
like,
just
oh,
looking
well, all
at-
you got to do is talk to him. And we're like, what? You're going to talk to a Bigfoot? Really?
yeah, we were just like, we don't know
And-
about him.
Yeah, we thought he was crazy. So then the first time he actually does his thing, when
Which
we're
this
in the
was the
woods,
second time she had us do a live stream. This is when she hooked us up with, it was Bigfooters meet Ghost Hunters again, and Squatch Man was our Bigfoot guy. So it was
Yeah.
the second time we did a live stream.
well, this guy, he walks out to the edge of the woods and he raises his hands up and he says, my friends, this might be my last time in this forest with you. I'm moving far away. So I would love it if you do something epic for us tonight. I beg of you, my friends. And Denise and I are looking at him.
Yeah, we're looking
and
like, what in the world is going
daughter
on?
Cora's there, and
Yeah.
she's looking at us like, what have y'all got me into? And so he finishes this little plea with the forest people, puts his hands down, and a tree falls over here.
Then a tree
Wow.
falls
The
over
tree
here.
falls over here. Then one back there.
And then one up there.
Seven
Seven.
trees fell
A
within
safe
about a
distance
minute and a
all
half
the way around us.
of him asking them to do something epic.
The last tree that fell, there was a one-way road going out. And he had told him he was planning on moving to Washington State at the time. We think maybe it was their way of trying to
Keep him there.
trying to block him in. The last tree that fell went right across that road and landed in the bough of another tree. And we're all out there. We're like, this is epic, you know. We're running around trying to find these trees, and they came up like by the roots. Like they didn't just break, like the roots.
And these are
Whoa.
big trees, not.
So it's
Not
like, be
little
careful what you
bit.
ask for.
So, well, we get back. It starts sprinkling a little bit. Me and my daughter get back in the car. He was a smoker at the time, so he's standing behind the van talking to Squatch Man. Well, all of a sudden, they start banging on the back window, and me and my daughter jump out and look. And you look up in that tree where this tree that's standing here, there's a big black mass in the top of it doing this, and you can hear it. That broke, and the tree finished falling, and then you hear it boom, hit the ground
Wow.
and
Jump down and
run
run.
off into the woods.
Now, for our listeners that are listening, can you let us know, if you can let the listeners know about your home that you're in? And, you know, because I know we went from on a date, we hooked it up, we got 502 tattoos, and we were going to go look at the crybaby. Then, oh my God, we
And
saw
then we went
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot hunting, and
And it's like, now you live in this property, you're in this home that you live in that's so active. Talk to us, because girl, you don't understand. Like, I see you both as a medium. I'm sitting here with the energies moving around me like crazy, and I can see the energies within the home. Can you please let the people know, where do you live and what is happening within your home?
You take it.
All right. Well, we live in, it's called the Ditto House Inn. It was built in 1841. It's in West Point, Kentucky,
And
right at the confluence of the Salt and Ohio River. They come together in our backyard.
When we first bought the house, I Googled the historic placard out front, and the first thing that came up was 6 reasons why the Ditto House Inn is Kentucky's most haunted house.
Oh, okay. And what was the top 6 reasons?
Well,
I don't know if we read
started
beyond
listing-
there because we were excited.
We just started high-fiving at that point. Like,
Oh snap, you're like, let's do it. So, you know, I woke up today and I had not known anything about the home. I always like to, you know, research before I go in after, but I went in today and I was like, okay, what kind of questions I can ask? And Spirit told me that it was because of the power lines around you, which causes that energy that you're in. And I asked you before we started, and you're like, yep, that's up the road. And so then you were also saying, Ernie, that there's also water. So can you explain to the listeners why these two things play a huge factor when it comes to manifestation of energies?
Well, running water and limestone and cave systems and railroad tracks. Railroad is a railroad track. When you think about it, it's an unending conductor that goes all over the country, you know, because tracks connect and they don't just dead end. They connect to another track and branch off. And that's it. I mean, you know, the signals on the railroad tracks run off of electricity that runs through the rails. I mean, those are constantly connecting or conducting electricity. We sit right on a ley line.
We're on the 38 parallel.
We have the Mammoth Cave system that goes right under our feet here. If you any of the listeners or viewers want to Google the Kentucky anomaly, it is actually studied by NASA. The electromagnetic field of the Earth reacts differently in this area in Kentucky than it does anywhere else in the world.
That's what Spirit told me. And I woke up to that and I was like, wow. I was like, I have to ask you when we start. So thank you, one, for the validation. And also, this is an example for people who are experiencing paranormal energy. The energy can be manifested with water, with electricity. So it's not just spirit, it's also what's around us. And then what are we bringing to the table? You guys are both in the woods. You guys have, obviously, Denise has some amazing energy from her family. Her lineage, she's always sensitive, and you also have that.
He's a 5th generation medicine man.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay. And coming together, you're definitely two power forces that are not even boring. Greg Bakken.
Yeah, speaking of Greg.
Yeah.
You want to show Greg's picture? You want to put it to the front? I mean, this is, to me,
She dug that out just for this podcast.
Oh my God, there he is. Oh my God, I love it. So this is the beauty of what we bring to the table. And I say we because we're sensitive. We are taking responsibility for our energy field. And you have developed your energetic, your blueprint of your aura, right? Both of you. It's so expansive. And then you live on this grid of energy. How do you wake up, or how do you sleep? Are you having
sleeping is the hard part?
I don't sleep much anyway. I'm, like I said before we started, I'm an ADHD unmedicated, so sleep is very elusive for me.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're constantly getting downloads and ideas. Mm-hmm. So your mind is probably like, boom, I got to do this. Boom, I got to do that. So with the energies that I used to wear one of the EMF magnets. Do you wear those at all?
No, well, we've got all of our crystals, and I make crystals called EAD stones. I won't tell you on the air what that stands for because I don't know if this is PG or not.
It's not Ernie and Denise.
Okay, we'll definitely talk about
that.
So grounding energy is going to be so important for you guys because you're constantly lit up. Mm-hmm. So I would say, for those that are in your field and that are experience things that you're experiencing, these are things that you can do. You can wear your crystals. You can get, some magnetic protectors to protect you from those waves. And so it's important to also, it's almost like I want to say you're like in a big old microwave, girl. Like I just want to I see you going like this.
Page. We have 28 confirmed deaths in the house, but we have hitchhikers all the time. We've got a house full of antiques, so we've brought things in. The murder room. We had a traveling salesman that was murdered in this room, and
I saw him walking behind you. So the energies were really intense, and the gentleman was popping in on me, and I was trying, not to go into transfiguration, and my face was changing, and I was like, "What's going on with my face?"
I'll tell you something else right here too, because the room we're in right now is the gentleman's room because we honor our spirits. Spirits, they have their own rooms. So this is the gentleman's room. We have a ladies' room and we have a nursery for our child spirits, and they have toys. Silas, if you can see that, is buried at Cave Hill Cemetery. We found his grave. We go and visit him. He was the one that was murdered in this room.
Oh, God. Let me put my glasses on. Put that back up again, girl, because I was watching someone behind you. Yes. Okay. So this is where you're visiting him.
Yeah.
Because I felt the presence of him so strongly right when you first started. So I don't know if there was an impact to the face, but my face felt like I was having some issues. And so as I was sitting here talking to you, I was just like, oh my gosh, okay, spirit is moving through me. Let me just sit here quietly. And my friend who's a medium here, Kevin, he's sensing a younger girl in the room with you guys that you're in as well.
Kevin, is she super young? Because we probably know who it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want me to tell you or not, so I don't want to give you too much information. We know some of their names. We've researched others. Some of them we go based upon the names that they give us. We can't confirm that, but with us being sensitive, we kind of just call them what we think. Yes, it's probably Mary. She died here when she was 3 with the flux, and her mama died within 7 days of her. I don't know if mom died first or if Mary died first, but they died first. They died within 7 days of each other, both.
Oh, bless them. Oh.
But Mary is here. We have a little boy that, we've got a picture we bought at an antique store, and we're pretty sure it's a post-mortem photo. And we've seen him here. As far as we know, he's not associated with the house, but you know how this is when you are like that beacon, they feel safe, they come. We have a whole nursery full of children's toys. I've brought in newer stuff for them to play with, but I've also got a lot of antique toys that's familiar to them, and they play with the toys in their nursery.
Me and Kevin will sit here all day and tell you have so many spirits in there. Kevin, if you want to jump in, you jump in, babe. Go for it, because as you say the toys, I see a young boy. Like this is the beauty of spirit coming together with this podcast. I channel when I work, and I channel the information when they have me ask questions. So this is very much a spirit-led conversation. Was there ever a fire in the house on the property?
Right back here, you can
yes,
see the torch mark.
Look at you, my friend.
It didn't do too much damage because the house didn't have to be repaired, but a log just flew out of this fireplace back here, and there was a small fire. But the beams are still scorched up there.
Oh, wow. I hear this is what I hear. You're doing a beautiful job taking care of the home. So I feel like as I say that, there's a woman that would tend to the house who would come, and the way she makes me feel is like towards the front of the side of your building. It's like you're out there, you're sweeping, you say good morning to them. There's a bell or something that you have out there that's like rings or it goes off. So there's some chimes and things, and there's an acknowledgement. Mary was a validation for her. So your spirit people are so proud to have you in the home. I feel like, I don't know if you've been cleaning your floors or you've been working on your floors, but I feel like they love that you are maintaining the house.
Well, it's funny that you say that. You want to talk about the upstairs floors? The upstairs floors are original because there was a flood in 1937 that took the downstairs original flooring out, but the upstairs flooring is original, and we are very proud of this upstairs flooring.
Yeah. Let me give you an opportunity to see if you pick up anything when I just talk about the upstairs flooring. Do you get anything out of it? You or Kevin, either one?
Kevin, you can jump in. You know what? I can send Kevin the link too if he wants to jump in. I felt a gentleman, when you say upstairs, a gentleman comes in, and I don't know if you have a chair that sits up there, but I see like a wooden chair that's up there as well. And there's another gentleman that sits up there that sits in that chair. The name Henry also comes through with that specific chair in that room.
We have, several.
We have a rocking chair that came out of the Roosevelt Hotel in New York, which is a haunted hotel.
Yeah.
We have another settee out there, which is
it came from the Doe Run Inn. That was a haunted
haunted location here in Kentucky. So we have a lot of.
There's a different man connected to that, though. A different, and I don't know if the person passed in a very tragic way, but I just saw some shootings and things like that take place within that specific room. So it can really grow. And this is the thing. So not only do you have that you're on this, not only are you on this land, and I'm sending Kevin the link now, but you're also have property and antiques. So there's a lot of energy that you brought into this house. Like
we have,
oh my gosh.
General Sherman. I'm assuming you know who General Sherman is, correct?
William Tecumseh Sherman.
From the Civil War.
From where?
Civil War. General Sherman that went on to burn Atlanta, won the Civil War.
Okay.
His headquarters were 4 doors down. His command staff stayed here, and we have General Sherman's desk downstairs.
He comes in with a mustache, and I see him with a very thick mustache is how he presents himself. So when you say that, there's a gentleman that's stepping in with him.
That could be what's his name?
Meade or Porter?
No. Could be David Porter.
It could be David Porter.
That's not who I'm thinking.
We have a lot of them here.
There's
so many
of them.
The
entire command staff stayed here at one point.
And we've seen soldiers here. We see soldiers. I
was going to ask you, because this was a place where, I want to talk about the lightning and electric. Yes. Come in, Kevin. I sent you the link on Facebook. Come in.
We were a brothel at one point. Some of those ladies are here as well.
I was going to say, okay, look. No longer is it Bigfoot. It's now like you have a whole household full of spirit. And this is where we want to talk about psychometry and residuals and memory imprints, because you have tons of that happening. Now, tell me about the room that you have. They're saying that the wire or the light goes off on and off, and there's like an old switch where you have to like turn on the light on and off.
That could
pretty much any of them.
any
Really,
of the rooms.
the electricity in here is old.
In the ladies' room, we have, because we don't have a wired chandelier, it's just like hangs with a cord, and we have to pull the
plug it in
extension cord up to plug it, because we don't have any wiring up through there.
So can I ask you, do people stay there at your house when they come for these events that you do?
We have had people pay to spend. When we do events at the fort, we usually let the guests stay here just to kind of as their payment
our
for
guests,
helping us.
Guest hosts that we bring in.
We have had a few people come and pay to stay here.
Mark Brown is
Mark Brown is over there.
He's going to be back in September.
Yeah, he paid to stay here, and then he won an auction to come back in September. Our son and his girlfriend recently moved back in, so we kind of shut down offering overnights just because we had. But I mean, we still have people that come and stay. We just have to say, we got people back there.
What is your biggest, or what is your favorite space? And we'll go to Denise first in the house. Denise.
That's so hard to say because, I mean, we love all of them are just like family. Like there's no fear here whatsoever. I mean, I talk to them the same as like I would my own children. If the kids are in there being super noisy, I'm like, you all need to keep it down. Or if I have a guy back here, which, like I said, our son's back there now, but there's a guy back there that likes to slam things. I'm like, if you can slam a door, you can pick up a broom. I mean, these are the things I have.
We talk to them like people.
I'll be leaving. When I leave in the morning, I'll go past the parlor downstairs and I'll say, morning, gentlemen. And I'll sometimes hear morning back as I'm leaving.
Whoa. So, do you guys have your equipment lit up in the house all the time, or do you put it away and you just kind of learn to work with them with your own senses?
We leave a few REM pods and
in the
a couple
kids' room
things
because
out.
The kids like to
in
play
the
with
kids'
them.
room. We'll leave them because they use them like toys. I mean, we have multiple videos of them, setting them off on command,
right?
Or setting off the music box on command, whatever. But most of the house, we don't keep things in. I mean, when we have guests over, of course, we get stuff
we try
out.
To put stuff out for them.
Try to canvas the house.
Even when we were doing just regular, before we bought this place and we were doing like regular just ghost hunts, we didn't really take a lot of equipment. We just kind of use ourselves because we just want to experience. It's not about documenting for us. It's about living in the moment and having that experience.
Yeah.
Making that connection.
It's so different, right? Mm-hmm. The energies are so different. I feel like when I'm channeling and I just walk in, everything, I get hit with the waves of the energies of the story, right? And I don't know anything. I'm walking in, I can enjoy it, go for a walk and walk in it. When I'm documenting or when I'm writing things down, I'm not in the full channel. It's almost like I have to, you're using that mindset to put the EVP recording on, to do the ghost box. So,
right.
And I was going to ask.
Is directed elsewhere.
Yeah.
We just live in the moment and have fun with it. I mean, and I guess if I had to pick a favorite, it would have to be the children's room, just because they call me Mama, they call him Papa. We do hear Mama and Papa occasionally.
I literally see one of those pop-up toys that has like a drum going ting, ting, ting. So I feel like they make a bell sound or something for you guys,
Well, we have a REM pod that's a bell. It's like the kind of bell that you set on a counter at a hotel or something.
When the batteries run out, they'll hit the bell part of it.
Yeah,
because they want the batteries.
If it's not turned on, they'll just ring the bell.
So now Spirit is having me ask about the pictures that were captured. So I don't know if you have cameras or you have something that was captured, because they're showing me the green and they're showing me the orbs, and they're showing me this is in front of the house. So they want me to talk about the energies that were captured on the porch in the front of the house.
Well, our neighbor across the street has a couple of photos from before we moved in.
That she feels like there's people in the windows.
She's shown us when the house was empty, where you would see people in the windows out in front of the house.
We've got some pictures. We've got one actually that was captured. Was it last year?
Were you talking about here?
Yeah, downstairs when I was when you started running the video and it cut off and we got the picture.
Yeah.
We were downstairs and we have a parlor and right beside it a living room. And in the living room above the fireplace, we have an old sign, the Ditto House Bed and Breakfast, that we found underneath the stairs. So we put it up there.
Aw.
And we were going to try to do a little flashlight activity, and I couldn't find a flashlight. So I was like, well, let's just do an EVP session. And he
Thank you. Yes.
started recording me because the nightlight behind me started flipping on and off. Well,
There you go. That's where they were taking me because I heard the EVP recording. They took me to the picture and they wanted me to go to that room where the light is going off and on. And there's a woman here that's kind of directing me into your home. So go ahead.
when he was recording me, he's like, because the light is going on and off, and it's like a click, 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 click light.
Yeah, it's not just flickering.
And
it's
he was
flipping on and off.
He was recording for a good 30 seconds or so, and then he was like, what just happened? He's like, my phone just cut off. And he was like going through his gallery trying to see if he could find the video. The video was gone, but there was a picture. You know, he's aiming this way at me. There's a picture on his phone that was taken while it was in his hand from behind him, facing the other way into the living room.
Yeah.
Wow.
The picture above the mantle is gone in the photo that was taken.
Isn't that a trip when that happens? That's the beauty of what we call spirit photography. So when we're working with channeling energies and that physical mediumship, that's how they manifest, and the energy manifests or creates. We were talking earlier telekinesis, and I was talking about things flying and
about the crepe myrtle flowers.
Oh yeah.
he said, I don't know, Debbie, but we're going to open it up.
Okay. Kevin mentioned lightning. Okay. When we have a thunderstorm here, the house feeds off of it. I mean, it gets charged. It's like you're walking into I don't know. I mean, you can just feel it, feel the energy after a thunderstorm here. And one of those nights we had a bad storm roll through. Denise and I stood on the back porch and watched it cross the river behind the house. We came in and the house just felt amped. So we decided, well, let's get out some equipment. Let's see if we get some communication going, because it feels like we could. So we got out a couple of REM pods and flashlights and different pieces of equipment and set them around in the parlor and the living room where we could see them from standing in the parlor, had a good view of all the pieces of equipment. And we went lights out and we did about 20-minute session just asking questions, trying to get something to communicate. Nothing lit up the whole time. And so we said, okay, well, heck with it. Go turn the light on. I'll get the equipment and we'll go on upstairs to bed. So she goes one direction to get to the light switch. I go the other way to grab the first REM pod. As I reach for it, the REM pod goes off, so it was working. But then she flipped the light on, and in front of that REM pod is a pile of wet crepe myrtle flowers
from the tree out front of our house.
From the tree in front of our house. That were not there when I put the REM pod there. And the front door had not opened.
We were the only
No windows were open. How did those flowers get inside the house and right there by the REM pod without the REM pod going off? That is still one of the greatest mysteries to me
I feel a lady who used to work there, like it plays a part of Ernie. Yes. He says that the lightning is part of you, Ernie, is what Kevin says. But when you say that, I literally see a woman who would have worked within the home, or who would have been a worker, and I see her in like a maid's outfit, and I saw her in like her hair done, and I saw her getting flowers. So when you spoke of those flowers, I felt was her spirit leaving them as a gift. So that's how her energy was being presented as you were sharing the story in a port. Yes. Thank you, Kevin. And so an apport is where the energy manifests. You know how people ask for dimes or nickels or quarters, and you got flowers. So thank you, Kevin. I just had this conversation today with my friend, and we were talking about apports and telekinesis. And this is the other side of paranormal when we start really going into physical mediumship. when you both really embody that energy that manifests not only from your home, from your land, and all the things you've collected, but from the souls that are just trying to give their love, their gratitude, and share their story. So you've created a beautiful container, a sacred space to commune. Now, I want to say like a lot of healing has taken place within the property that you live in. So it started from a date. You were looking for crying babies. We went to Bigfoot. Now we have this whole house. And, you know, you went from Bigfoot. And I know in 3 days, Greg saw Bigfoot. He saw an ET. And then you saw, this dog. And then you saw a fairy. So can you explain almost like, okay, you both sit here and you are here today out of the years that have passed and your owners, and you've experienced the history and time of life after death. How would you describe to your listeners that have followed you over all these years what that feels like for you guys today as we pause with that thought?
Well, go first, or you want me to?
Well, just because, we don't have enough time for that whole story.
Right.
But when Ernie and I met, we were both at very low points. And that's why we said the spirit of 502 is the one that brought us together.
And saved our lives.
And saved our lives. Ernie was was homeless, living in his car, standing on the roof of Waverly, getting ready to jump 7 years ago.
God bless you.
And now here we are.
Yeah.
So it's like we're where we're supposed to be, I think.
You touched on, in your question, you talked about life after death and all of those aspects of the paranormal. Life after death, what I've gotten from spirit communication is not about heaven or hell.
Right.
It's about freedom.
Yes.
It's about being unbound by the physical body, by the three-dimensional world, by time, by distance, by any laws of physics.
She told us, her name's Sarah, by the way.
I should have said it. Oh my gosh, I love that. You guys are powerful people. Go for it, Ernie.
She told us that she can be anywhere and everywhere all at once, because we actually asked her at one point, why aren't you in heaven? She said, this is heaven.
Yeah, that's where she chose to be. I mean,
because people ask us about crossing the children over all the time. I'm like, where are we going to cross them over to? They're happy here. They've got us. They've got their toys. And if at any point in time they wanted to go somewhere else, we'll help them get wherever they want to go.
Yeah. I think you providing the healing and providing a beautiful place for the spirits and for spirit and the memory. When I did one of my very first investigations with a child, his name was George, and I was in the attic, and I was very surprised that I was reading a child, and I was still with the thought, is this soul really stuck? Like I was still in that in between, and I didn't feel that. And what I learned in the moment, even though sharing the story in the other room, the ghost box, George says, thank you. And then the ghost box says, thank you. And the soul ascended. And I had to talk about that.
We heard those EVPs. Shara and Greg played those for us.
And what was really beautiful, it's the healing. Mm-hmm. The healing that comes to be heard, the acknowledgement. It was the release of being heard and being able to express what that young boy was going through, or your child, and you communicate with them in such a beautiful way. So I think you give a beautiful example of what heaven on earth is, a beautiful example in your home.
Thank you.
So thank you.
We tell them all the time, we explain to them what year it is, that we're not in their time anymore. We explain to them that they're not stuck here, that if they need our help for anything, we'll help them. When people pay to come spend the night here and we know we're having company that wants to interact with them, we tell them people are coming.
Yes.
Tell them that they're safe. When we had the 4th of July and we know there's going to be fireworks, we tell them what's going on.
We know we've got soldiers here, so we let them know. Look, you're not under attack.
So we're very, very careful with making sure they're aware of what's happening and to let them feel safe.
You've taken responsibility to manage this property with integrity, not only for the ones that have walked the path before us, but the ones that continue to walk in. And I think when we're doing paranormal, there has to be a form of respect. And you've given a great example of respect to the spirit, to the land, to the home. And you can see Spirit was acknowledging such an ambassador for the spirit world. They say you guys are. Yeah. And I think I think you're setting the tone for those that are stepping it up into the work that we do with the spirit world. You're setting a blueprint for what it looks like to work with the spirits. So it's an honor and a privilege to hear pieces of your story, both of you, Denise and Ernie. I know Greg set this up for us, and he's so sweet. He's a cool dude. I definitely will have to do this again because we didn't go into the other energies outside, but because this home was set up where you said there were soldiers. This was a place where soldiers were. There was no war, but it was part of the Civil War timing. And so there's a lot of history that comes with your home, not just the spirits and the tragic passings, but and then the spirits that you pick up.
Yeah. Well, we actually, because I know we mentioned that we run the paranormal out of Fort Duffield. Fort Duffield had 48 deaths in 6 months, all from illnesses, and we were the Civil War hospital for the soldiers from the fort. So the ones that didn't die up there were brought back here,
and many of them died here.
Yeah. I feel like there's a prayer that was been done in your home, though. So I feel like a lot of blessings and a lot of prayer that's been placed into the land, and great conversations I feel like you've been doing, Ernie. So there's both of you, but I feel like the people that come, again, they follow your lead. There's a respect and code that is honored when they're there.
Well, we wouldn't have it any other way. We actually have people sign waivers that basically restrict them from being anything less than respectful to the
when people come to the fort, especially, we have a waiver that says that we tell them, first of all, there are no demons here. You are not allowed to talk about demons on the property, or we will remove you from the property. And if we see anywhere on your social media when you leave here that you found a demon at Fort Duffield, we will sue you, and we make them sign the waiver.
All right. Good for you. Good for you. What a beautiful unfoldment. And girl, I don't know how you do it, both of you, with all that power and all that energy. I'm still sitting here like, I'm in California, you're out there in Kentucky, and I'm feeling all the energies that you guys bring to the table.
We feel it all
my Lord.
Come on up to the fort sometime and feel it for yourself.
Yeah, so you offer this to the community. You do offer people to come and to explore. And what else are you both doing at this moment for the collective and community?
Well, we just held an auction for a night at the house for one of our community members that's in need, to raise money for her.
Yeah, we managed to raise $875 for a friend who's battling stage 4 cancer.
Oh, bless him.
Mark Brown, that we mentioned earlier, had investigated the house. He won an auction a while back that we gave to Tim Comer for, he had a stroke and he's out of work, so we donated the money to Tim.
Okay.
We host events up at Fort Duffield called Spirits, Squatches, and Stories Around the Campfire.
That's what this shirt's from.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
And
I'll have to get me one of those. We'll have to get one from you all the way from California so I can rock it.
Get one of these too.
Yes.
Ditto House is what the back of it says.
I like hats too. So I got the humidity here can't do nothing with the curls. It's just,
there you go.
I love that. My friend Kevin's like, road trip. So he's from Canada.
Come on. Just let us know.
Oh my gosh. We will go crazy.
Those events at Fort Duffield, all of the proceeds that we raise from that goes directly toward restoration and maintenance of Fort Duffield. Because it's a piece of history that needs to be preserved.
We didn't take over the paranormal at Fort Duffield till we moved to West Point in April of 2023. And in that time, because we got traffic flowing so much back there, we were able to help the mayor get a $65,000 grant to get the road paved.
Yeah.
We're trying to.
We got new benches, replica cabins, rebuilt, pavilion up there.
We're trying to put the paranormal as the forerunner for fundraising for that historic site. And a lot of places do the same thing. And I think that that's something that's lost when you watch the YouTubers and a lot of the paranormal entertainment television that's out there. The history is forgotten and neglected, and the stories of the people is forgotten and neglected in search of clicks and likes and subscriptions. And it really, there would be no paranormal community without historical preservation. So that's why
I heard it's time. I heard it's time from the spirit world. They say it's time. And I see, I don't know if this is a soldier that's in the front of your property. They show me a plaque and a statue of some sort out there. So I don't know if it's a spirit that's next to a rock that is in honor of the property, but they're making me fit
a historical placard on the front of the house.
Okay, so they're having me acknowledge that.
Duffield could be up at the Memorial Cemetery.
Yeah, we do have.
There's a monument up there.
And then the soldier just says thank you and salutes to you both. So there's a spirit.
Thank you for your service. You guys won, by the way. We just celebrated 250 years of America thanks to you guys.
So he salutes you both. What a beautiful conversation and unfoldment. Thank you both for being a guest on Inspire. You are both inspirations to the paranormal world and to the spirit world. As my dear friend Kevin says, amazing, such wow ambassadors for the spirit world. So you guys, thank you so much for being a guest today. Can you leave your handles of where people could find you?
Well, you can find us Packman Paranormal, Facebook page and group. We have a TikTok page, Packman Paranormal. We have the Hauntings of Fort Duffield Facebook group. We have a Facebook page for the Real Ditto House Inn 1841.
But if you find us on any of those platforms, you can also find us under Denise Pack and Ernie Pack. We share everything across all platforms.
And I'll put their handles in. If you guys hear this on Spotify, Amazon, iHeart, or Apple, make sure you give them a follow. So much love, you guys. Until next time, God bless. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.